You up first? Yeah. Okay. You can leave that there. Good morning. Are you hearing me? Good morning. Good morning. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Clock is looking like 10 a.m. to me, so I think it's time to start. Let us begin with a moment of silence to put aside what we've been thinking about and be present here. Okay, as we begin, I almost feel like I should warn those of you who don't know me well that I'm not going to be nearly as entertaining as Paul was. But I will do my best to live up to the standard of commitment and efficiency that he showed. So thank you, Paul, for what you've given us. And since we have a very full agenda, I think if we're going to be efficient, we should get right into it. There are no new residents to introduce this month, so we will go directly to the administrative report, and Adam is standing in for Jan this morning.
Happy New Year, everybody. So I am Adam Feldbauer. I'm the Health Services Administrator, in case I haven't ran into some of you. Filling in for Jan, as Lee stated. So the administrative positions and HR update starting out with. So we continue to recruit for a Director of Nursing for our Borden Center and a Financial Controller. And we are also looking at the open position that will be left by Danielle on February 2nd. We have been encouraging staff to enhance their skills in a variety of ways, and Jan would like to report that we have some staff that have chosen to do so. One culinary wait staff started CNA training at Mountain Gate Community College, as well as 5 maintenance staff starting enhanced skills training at one working towards Class A contractor's license. Some others include an RMA from Webster starting an RN curriculum, an LPN getting a bachelor's in healthcare administration, and an RN obtaining her master's in nursing. So that is great. Car-free accreditation. So our car-free accreditation has been completed and went well. The preliminary report included 4 recommendations as well as many strengths and best practices. The reaccreditation will be effective for 5 years, and this is the 3rd reaccreditation survey for Kendall at Lexington. The final report will come from the CARF headquarters sometime later this month. Okay, and then top 250 CCRCs in America. Kendall at Lexington was selected as one of those in First Newsweek's report. 4 Kendall affiliate communities were recognized alongside some other well-known organizations. Kendall at Ithaca was 109. Kendall at Lexington was 123. Kendall at Oberlin was 133, and the Admiral at the Lake was 7. Were recognized in the top 250. There were approximately 2,000 life planning communities across the nation. So that's fantastic. The report was created to provide guidance for people searching for life planning communities. The 3 data sources for the report included national online surveys involving medical professionals, acquaintances of residents, and residents living in life planning communities. Accreditation by CARF, life planning communities from the 20 states with the highest number of communities. And then there's 2 reminders. One is that dogs must be on leashes at all times. And then very cold weather is now and coming up in this weekend, so please be careful if you have to be out and about. And Todd, thank you.
All right. Did he turn it off or can you hear me? He turned it off.
How about that? His face must be shaped funny because it's crooked. Okay, I've got all my end of year numbers, so I'm going to go ahead and show you some charts and graphs today. Everything is done except the financial reports. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Everything's done but the financial report. So I'm going to show you some of the other things that we did as well in 23. First up is our trash. We pay by the pound for everything that gets hauled out of here. So we track that and we try to recycle as much as we can. We try to take to the recycling center and sell things that have value. We take things to Habitat that are reusable for someone else, but we don't have a use for. And then some things go into the employee auction to get rid of. 2023 was the best year ever we've had for our trash. The top graph is every month is just up and down. So don't worry about every up and down because that just gets too chaotic. But the bottom graph is a rolling 12-month total. So it's a moving snapshot as time goes forward of everything we threw away for the previous year. You can see we spiked our highest year ever in December of 22. 270 tons went to the landfill from Kendall. The last bill we just got wrapped up the lowest ever that we've ever hauled out of here. 20% decrease down to 214 tons. So great news on that. That saves us money. The sustainability folks are happy. It's a win-win for everybody unless you're like an investor in the landfill. All right, our electricity usage. Again, the top graph is by month, and of course, our usage cycles up and down. The big one to pay attention to is the bottom one, which again is a rolling 12-month sum. The highest ever that we used peaked in January of 23 at a little over 3.6 million kilowatt hours in a rolling 12-month period. But you can see the steady drop since then. The lowest we've ever used, 3.4 million, just was on our last bill, a drop of 6% in our electricity use. Again, it's a win-win for everybody except Dominion Power, and it saves a lot of money and just wear and tear on our stuff. Question on that? Yes, sir.
Did you do any adjusting for the fact that we are a bigger community now? We have another 30 units up on the hill?
I do a lot of adjusting for both the weather and also for the population per head count and stuff like that, and it gets really messy. Because, for example, the weather doesn't impact how much energy the dining room uses, right? So our energy use per degree day of heating and cooling really doesn't tell us a lot of useful stuff. When you adjust per capita, per the person here, again, it gets really messy, and I do a little bit of that. Dominion doesn't care; they just want to send us the bill, no matter how many people we have or what the weather is. 6.6 drop. That's fantastic, and our population is higher than it was on the left side of the graph. So that is a big success story. One comment I'll make on this before I go on: I get asked all the time why we haven't done solar energy yet. This is why we haven't done solar energy yet. The biggest solar proposal, well, this is one of the reasons. The biggest solar proposal we've had so far will cost us between $800,000 and $900,000. And in the first year, it will produce a little over 300,000 kilowatt hours. This is 250,000 kilowatt hours just by fixing broken things, adding insulation, and dealing with other issues. Solar makes sense, and it is a viable solution. But conservation and efficiency always should be done first before you start talking about generation. That's the equivalent of a $750,000 solar platform here that we did without having to put a $750,000 solar platform anywhere. So that's a good news story too. This is our water usage. Again, we spiked at 8.4 million gallons ending in the year ending in April of 22. The year that just ended, December of 23, down to 7.3, 13% drop, over 1 million gallons of water less than we used to use. Some of this is conservation, a lot of it is fixing leaks. One of you has a very messy yard right now because of a major leak we just fixed last week. Those things don't do anybody any good. They just cost a lot of money. They waste a lot of water from the city and from the county. So most of this is actually repairs more than it's actual conservation. Natural gas is very cyclical in the season because we don't run a lot of gas furnaces in the summertime, but we do have some gas hot water. So in the top graph, don't worry about it. The bottom one again, rolling 12-month summary. You can see our gas usage peaked in the December 21 year, almost 13 million cubic feet of natural gas, down to 10.7, lowest ever in this period that just ended. Again, mostly repairs, mostly insulation. We're not shutting off the heat in people's houses intentionally. Sometimes it breaks, but we fix it. A lot of this is just doing things the right way, and it pays huge dividends. Did you have a question?
Does it mean that we are our own gas company?
The question was, what does it mean that we are our own gas company? Which means he read the email I sent the other day, so thank you. Columbia Gas delivers gas to us. They're the gas company who sends us these bills. But they don't run a line to each individual cottage and apartment and building. They run to a central location, and then it branches out from there. Whoever owns those branch lines has to be registered with the state as a gas company. That's us. So Sycamore is a good example. You may have seen that pretty good sized gas station, gas substation that's not like an Exxon, natural gas substation between two of the cottages over there. That is where Columbia Gas delivers to. And then every other cottage gets branch lines from there. Because we own and maintain and inspect those branch lines, we have to be licensed as our own small gas company. We have a state inspector coming on the 30th for their compliance thing. It's more regulatory. We're pretty on top of that. It's really just a legal thing. All right. I mentioned insulation. And charts and graphs are nice, and saving money is fantastic, but this is a visual thing that everybody can see. And I brought my wife's cat toy to show. We have not gotten to this cottage yet. We have gotten to this cottage. And if you see the difference, the reason the snow is melted on the left is because the heat that we want in the occupied portion of the house is escaping into the attic and warming that roof. That is the same weather, that is the same orientation, that is the same exposure. All the difference is we've had the time and money to go in and add attic insulation on the right. That's why that gas bill is doing what it is for everybody else, is a big part of it, and it's a whole lot more comfortable. We are doing that iteratively everywhere across campus as we just have the time and man hours around to get to And I got permission from them to show this. This is that cottage. So obviously there's that normal cycle of gas up and down. And this is a rolling 12-month period. You can see how cold last winter was, and we had that huge spike. That's when we added the insulation. And you can see we added the insulation in the middle of winter, and you can see the drop in gas usage when normally it's cycling back up. Huge, huge difference. So overall, our energy primarily comes here in the form of gas, natural gas, and electricity. I convert those into kBTUs, an equivalent thing, because it's hard to convert, a light bulb to a cubic foot of natural gas. And I do that together. So the red is our electricity, the yellow is our natural gas. You can see it's a pretty even split in terms of how much energy we use here. We peaked the most energy we ever used the year that ended December of 2021. Almost 25.5 million kBTUs of energy. That's quite a bit. The low is the year that just ended. It's down almost 3 million kBTUs since that all-time peak. And it's a slight downtrend, you can see, but it's 10% down in our total usage from that peak, and that trend is continuing. Most of you hopefully read the emails that have gone out periodically about our peak electrical use. That costs us a lot of money and is very hard on the network, on the grid infrastructure as well. On the left are our top 12 electrical spikes, our peaks in 2022. And then on the right are our top 12 2023 peaks. I scaled everything the same in both size and the numbers on the legend there. So that is an apples to apples. Our worst spike day in 2023 is still better than any of our top 12 days in 2022. That's fantastic. That saves huge money because those are just fines, basically. You have to pay to the power company for using a huge spike of money, of electricity. It's a lot of money. It doesn't save anything in electricity. It doesn't conserve or waste any. It's just a kind of a fine for being a huge single spike user. The more we can do that, the better. The Sustainability Committee's done a great job on working with us to identify those days and just ask y'all to help us get rid of those. And we've made huge progress on that. Yes?
What were the red and blue lines?
Complicated. The question was, what are the red and blue lines? Okay, so the red lines are a summer peak air conditioning day that we got billed for. The blue lines are a winter peak. Well, when we're using space heaters and things like that, we get hit with the winter fine. The gray ones are ones that happen to hit on a weekend when you don't pay the fine. So, hooray, look at 2022. The 3 worst days actually were a Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, and we did not have to pay the fine. Our worst fine was that first winter one. And you can see we had one summer one over here, but our winter ones are pretty much falling off the chart at this point if we can continue that trend. Okay? There are several 2023 open capital efforts that didn't get successfully wrapped up on time. You can see the top 4 up here. Elevator number 2, we ordered those parts in January of 23. We paid for those parts in January 2023. I call and yell at them about every 10 days. They don't answer my phone calls much anymore, so I'm not sure when they're going to show up, but they promise us soon. Some repairs to the north building foundation were delayed due to a massive swamp and mud and weather back there. It didn't look like a fun job for them to be excavating, so that's coming in February, I think. Mid-February we'll reschedule. The access control project continues. That's for the door sensors and so forth. Almost all the hardware is in. What we're just doing now is making sure the systems all talk to each other correctly. And in a few cases, we found the existing doors simply are broken and obsolete. And we're trying to do change orders to pull them out and replace them. And then the north carpet replacement was delayed and didn't get done in 23. They're actually starting that next week. So watch for an email for that work. They'll be doing most of that at night. And our deer calling effort is kind of year-round throughout hunting season. I think we're up to 17 deer removed this year. We only got 5 damage tags. So the guys have been using their own tags and their own permits to do that for y'all. So if you see that, thank them, and they'll probably smile because they got to take the jerky and the venison and everything home anyway. So it's another win-win, unless you're the deer, I guess. There are a lot of 24 capital projects. Most of these I've talked about before when we talked about budget stuff. The next elevator, we're going to go ahead and get contracted. Don't ask me to tell you when they'll actually show up to do the work. It'll probably be 2025 at the rate they're doing it. Some more foundation repairs. Once we finish the north carpet replacement, we're going to be moving to the south, Phase 2 roofing is funded and approved and contracted. That is all the cluster cottages and all of Borden. It's about a third, again, bigger than the project we did for Phase 1. We're going to be relocating the golf cart and EV and Little Gems vehicle charging stations to the back lot, so they're out of that crowded dumpster area, and they'll be back there on a timer that only charges them at night when our electricity is dirt cheap. We're doing a lot of repairs and replacement to the fire panels, which is going very slowly and is ridiculously expensive, so I'm not able to get the whole system fixed at once. The Washington and Lee students are still working on their safety study, and they will provide some recommendations for pedestrian and traffic safety, and we have a placeholder in the account to pay for that. 1036 Cottage is under contract both for a resident and for the contractor to do the work, and that is moving along nicely. And then the employee lounge is still on the list, so I'll just have to yell at Kenny and say, how come you haven't gotten that done yet? And since January 1st, we've taken on the internal grounds and landscaping work rather than hiring a very expensive outside contractor. So we bought some equipment. We've hired a couple young folks who want to go sweat in the sun with lawnmowers and weed eaters. And Dave will be leading that effort in the fall. Well, actually in the spring, as soon as it gets appropriate weather. And those were my slides. I only had about 15 minutes, so hopefully I stayed on time. Do we have any questions that didn't come up while I went through the slides? Yes,
We
ma'am.
actually have that.
Yes. Okay. No hard questions, but I've got time for easy questions. Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever consider insulating the windows rather than the roofs? Because our apartment has a breeze that blows through it when all the windows are shut, and all the blinds are shut, but the windows just need some kind of insulation.
Yep. The question was about insulating the windows instead of focusing on the attics. There's really two elements to that. First of all, when you're feeling a breeze, it's not really an insulation thing. It's a building envelope problem where something has a gap and things like that. Even a poorly insulated single pane window that is airtight is decent. We have generally double stuff here, and what we've been trying to go around with and fix the building envelope and stop that breeze and that airflow. Like a triple pane, super insulated window, the cost of that versus what it saves in that vertical surface doesn't lose anywhere near the heat that the horizontal does through the attic. Many of those paybacks are over 100 years if you go to like a triple pane window. So windows are a priority when in terms of drafts and leaks and things like that, absolutely. Ripping out a window and putting in like a super insulated one is pretty far down the list in terms of paybacks. But yes, I have some building envelope problems we've identified on the windows. You should not be feeling a breeze. That's an envelope issue that we need to fix. Okay. Any other questions for me? Yes.
The window screens that were removed when they washed the windows.
Some, yes, Dave. Okay. Yes, some is the short answer, and Dave will follow up with you afterwards. Yes.
We have appreciated that mulching has been done around our cottages. Will that continue?
The question was, will mulching continue now that grounds and landscaping is internal? Yes, but we're going to try to do it smarter. We bought almost 5 tractor trailers of mulch from the contractor last time, and they made mulch volcanoes, which is not the best practice. And in some cases, we see mulch around light posts and things like that don't necessarily need mulch to protect their roots. So yes, we will be doing mulching, but we're trying to, with the help of the horticulture committee, we're trying to copy Virginia Tech's best practice guidelines. And we're making a standards books with pictures, and it says, this is what good mulch looks like. If you do this, Todd will yell at you. So yes, we'll be continuing mulching, hopefully in a better manner going forward. Any other questions for me? Okay, Danielle's following me, so I'm going to switch her sides over. Thank you all.
Good morning. I have several folks that will be presenting with me, so we're going to use the microphone instead of changing the face.
Break my laptop.
Thank you a lot. All right, so we are going to introduce your independent care team. you know these folks, this is a great opportunity to reintroduce them to you and to revisit what exactly they do for you as an independent living resident. Who is the independent living care team, and how can they help me as an independent living resident? Samantha had planned to be here today, but unfortunately Samantha's grandmother passed away, so she is not here today, but I'm gonna fill in Samantha and her slides. So here's Samantha, AKA, you may know her as Sam. She's the independent living clinic nurse. See, I already see a typo. It should be, oh no, I don't. What can I go to the clinic nurse for? So what can you go to Samantha for? Nurse visits. Samantha has walk-in clinic hours where she can do wound care, vital signs, foot care, cleaning your ears, vaccines, injuries and illness follow-up. So if you were in the hospital or have had an injury, Samantha will follow up with you to make sure that there is no needs that you have. She will also do pre and post surgical visits, calling you, coming to your home if you would like, just to make sure that you have everything prepared for your surgery, and once you're home from surgery, making sure that everything is going smoothly. She does routine injections with a physician's order. She can assist with making medical appointments and assist with seeking referrals for therapy. Samantha also will respond to emergency calls. So if there's an emergency and you hit your pet, somebody from the clinic will respond to you. Samantha can create and maintain your resident file of life, which I will remind, File of Life February is coming up, so be on the lookout. You will receive some information on setting up an appointment to get your File of Life updated. She can arrange short-term meal deliveries if you have an acute illness or injury, assistance with interpreting health literacy or information. So you've come home from the doctor's office and you're looking at your discharge summary and you're like, what does this mean? I think they told me, but I'm not quite sure. You can go to Samantha and she can help you with that. Education on chronic or acute health issues, education on a do not resuscitate order, versus full code and what that means. And she is also our dementia support group facilitator. Next up, we have Wendy. Wendy is our independent care coordinator, and as you can see, Wendy is cold. I did offer to retake the picture, but she said no. Go.
Good morning. I think my modeling days are over. So, let's see. Okay, so I'm your care coordinator. I'm your care coordinator. I'm an independent living, and I'm new. I think I've just completed 30 days. You might see me zipping around and talking to people. And if you stop by my office, the first thing I do when I learn your name and you leave is I pull out the blue book and I read about you. And then when I see you the next time, I will probably ask you questions about your accomplishments. And I love that. That's been the best. I will help you create and maintain your file of life. If you have questions and need to update your advanced directive or your DNR, I can help you. If you have questions about moves through the continuum, I'm going to be your support. And I'll provide resources and interventions to help you safely age in place. Facilitate support groups. If you have a death of a spouse, I will help you with the next steps and I'll provide support. If you have concerns about your well-being or your neighbors, your friends, you can come talk to me. Track pet records. I'm also known as the dog warden. So, but I love dogs and I love cats, but you know, we have policies. Establishing medical providers, lawyers, dentists, especially if you're new to the area. I'm born and raised and spent my career here working with a lot of the doctors and things, so I'll try to help you. A resource when you're moving to Kendall to help you set up anything that you need to have a successful move in, and so that you feel welcomed and you're part of the community. I'll be a part of the family care plan meetings to discuss your levels of care here at Kendall. I know that's hard, and we'll provide support and assistance. Assist with understanding your insurance benefits, eligibility, and etc. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, well, it's really nice to meet you all, and I look forward to working with you. Oh,
Where's your office?
my office is in what was known as Betsy's Parlor, and it's on the north hallway, south hallway. It took me 14 minutes to leave the building on my first day. So I'm not the one to ask for directions. I have no inner compass. So, yes, and you're more than welcome to stop by if you see me in there. I'm probably not really working on anything that important, and I don't want to talk to you. So stop in. Betsy's Parlor, second floor.
Right here,
Yeah.
right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Or
Yeah.
just the viewer was.
Yes, there's a beautiful quilt hanging. That's what I look for.
Just the viewer's old office.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Anybody? Oh, yes, ma'am.
Is it possible to provide a map of this whole place to us?
There is a map of this whole place.
You're in Jessica Bueller's old office.
I'm in Jessica Bueller's old office. Does that, I don't know who that is.
We need a map.
Okay. There is a map. Okay, we'll work on that. Anybody else? Okay, all right, thank you.
Meet Victoria, Health and Fitness Program Manager.
Hello.
So you, of course, can come meet with me in class for strength and stretch, aqua aerobics, balance, and a couple other little things. I will help orient you to the fitness center if you're new and you need to join. I can also set up time with you if you need help with any of the equipment. So if you've been working out in there and you just say, you know, I don't know how to use that new fancy bike, just send me an email or stop by my office and I will help you with that. I can also help you build an individualized exercise program. So we can sit down together, we can talk about your goals, I can help you choose what class might work best for you, or we can meet in the weight room and, you know, go through machines that might be, you know, most beneficial for you. So I also work with therapy. So both if you're having a problem, I might refer you to therapy. And then as you're going through therapy, I will be in contact with them and can help instruct you as you're discharged from therapy what the next best options are for you. I also put on the annual fitness testing. So if you're getting antsy and wondering, when are we gonna do that? Just stop by and let me know that you're really excited for the next round of fitness testing. And then I'm also in charge of ordering fitness equipment. So if you're exercising in there and you think, you know, we really could use blank. If it works out in our budget, I'd be happy to get it for you if it's something you're gonna use regularly and other people might benefit from it. And by that, I mean things that are, you know, not $10,000. That would be a capital budget request. And let's see. And as far as the fitness equipment as well, so if you're having a problem with the machine, if you think something's broken, of course you can leave me a note on that bulletin board, but please put your name so I can get back to you with what's going on with that. Or you, again, can send me an email. Meet Kristen.
Okay, we'll see if I know what I'm doing. Okay, I have to hit an arrow. Yes, okay. So, yes, you know me teaching down in Fitness Center, and I'm most of the mind body classes. So, yoga, Pilates, we take yoga into the pool, we do it in a chair. I teach the seated strength and stretch classes, and that's about it, but I love all of those. I can meet with you one-on-one for individual program, just like Victoria mentioned. So if that's in the weight room or any other, or I do one-on-one Pilates classes if you need, if you're looking to try something new and you're not sure what that class entails. Happy to meet with you one-on-one for that as well. I assist Victoria with the annual fitness testing. That is coming up. Yay. And then I am the wellness manager, so I'm trying to help you pursue and encourage activities outside of the walls of the fitness center. So that could be outings, it could be our walks to the farmer's market, it could be hikes that we organize. If you have ideas that you want outside of the fitness center, let me know that, and we can work with you and try to get that brought here on campus. And then following up with that, wellness goals beyond physical exercise. And so I've met with folks for different things. If you're brand new and you're looking to enhance your social opportunities here, I can meet with you on that. Often when I meet with folks, I'm involved in too many things. Help me prioritize what I need to let go of and stay with. So just think beyond. I love movement, you know that. But think beyond that if there's another wellness goal for you. And then I also, like Victoria, work with that transition to and from therapy, and also help with orientation to the fitness center itself and to the equipment. So again, if you're not sure how to use something, I can help with that. If it's broken, let me know, and then I'm going to tell Victoria, because I don't want that. Anyway, thank you. It's nice to see you all.
Thank you, Kristen. All right, as for me, Director of Clinical Services. I had to add the little hat there because it's nice and cold out. And I don't know who is going to be that next. So, what can I go to the Director of Clinical Services for? If you're needing your file of life updated with medical information or changes in emergency contacts, you can make an appointment with me. I meet with all new independent living residents that are coming to Kendall to complete the pre-admission medical assessments. You can come to the Director of Clinical Services for grievances and concerns about independent living and assisted living medical care and support. Family care plans to meet and discuss support and transitions of care. To express concerns about neighbors. If you're seeing things that need to be reported or that you feel like are unsafe, you would come to me for that. Health-related services, I do clinic visits, post and pre-surgery visits, injury follow-ups or hospitalizations. So Samantha and myself, we tag team those. Education around do not resuscitate and advanced directives. Emergency calls, health education, and vaccines, coordinating the vaccine events and updating your Kendall health records. Do we have a few more minutes? Are we okay? Okay, so we do have some scenarios, and I will say all of these I'm going to ask Becky to put on Katie if that'll be helpful as well, because I know it's a lot of information. All right, so we're just going to kind of play a little game. I'm going to read the scenario, and you just yell out who you received help once you paid attention. Who do you think is that person that you're going to go to for that support? So there are some pieces of my discharge summary from my doctor's visit that are unclear. Who should I ask? Yeah, her, Samantha, Wendy, both of those would help. I feel weak in my lower extremities and wonder what would help build my strength. Who's that? I have questions about my advanced directives. I get confused sometimes when it comes to my medications. Who should I seek assistance from? Me and Samantha. I had a recent fall and think that I should use a walker or rollator. Who should I ask? All of us, yeah. My emergency contacts have changed. Who should I tell? Yep, Wendy, Samantha, or myself. Gosh, these are so small, I'm having a hard time seeing them. I would like Kendall to update my immunization record with updated vaccines I received from my doctor's office. Who should I let know? Yeah, me or Samantha. I'm at the hospital and I have no local family or friends, or maybe you just don't want to bother your friends. I'm sure we all have friends, but need some support. Is there anyone at Kendall I can call? Wendy. I would love to learn more about the water aerobics classes. I have questions about my contract when it comes to a transition of care. Wendy, Samantha, or Danielle? I have an upcoming surgery and I'm really nervous about it. Do I have everything I need? Yep. I want to build a wellness plan that is best for me. I am sick and shouldn't go to the dining room. Who can I call for a meal delivery? Samantha, yes. I just moved to Kalex and need some assistance finding healthcare providers. Wendy, Samantha, or Danielle? I need to increase my physical fitness, but need help mapping out a plan. We're working on those leg muscles there. My pet just had updated vaccines. Who do I give that record to? The leg press in the fitness gym is not holding resistance. Who should I tell? Yay, y'all passed. Again, all of these slides will be on Katie if you need to look back. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, what is the weather policy when are classes canceled? Is it Rockridge schools or Lexington schools? And what about if there's a 2-hour delay? I couldn't find it anywhere.
So I sent an email yesterday. Oh, the question was, what is our class policy when there is bad weather? So you should have received an email yesterday. If you did not, I can print some and I can put them by the mailboxes. So our policy is based on the city school. So when they cancel school for the whole day, then our classes are canceled for the whole day. When they do a 2-hour delay in the morning, then our morning classes are canceled. And then anything after 12 would still be meeting. We decided to go with the city school because they don't cancel as often as the county. And we know sometimes it ends up that it probably is fine, but it is out of out of caution. We have had falls in the past when people specifically were trying to come out to class. So we just don't want to entice people to come out in the bad weather. Yes.
We're trying to figure out if the city schools have canceled.
So in that email and in the printed one, it'll show you a list of ways you can check. I think it's got different TV channels, online resources. Somebody emailed us today and said they checked the city school website and they did it on their phone, and on the phone it wasn't showing. I guess there was like a banner at the top or something, and on the phone it wasn't showing it, but when she went on her computer, like her desktop computer, then she could see it. So just as an FYI on that.
Could you put that policy up at Katie somewhere?
I think it is. I don't know, I'll have to check. Oh, and it's posted on the bulletin board in the fitness center.
Yeah. Great question. Thank you. Any other questions?
I think your small print led you to miss, how do I join the Webster waitlist?
Oh, it was just identified that I missed one because of the small print. How do I join the Webster wait list? That would be myself or Samantha or Wendy. All of us could talk to you about the Webster wait list. Thank you. Any other questions? Beth?
First of all, I'm sure I speak for all of us when I tell you how much we remember. On a personal level, you and Brittany before you and Katie helped transition the love of my life, from independent living to Webster, and next week John will be going to court. And I want to know who I'm going to come to cry to, and who everybody else in this room is going to come to cry to when you were gone. So perhaps Adam can answer that question.
I'll be there with a bear.
That's not good enough.
I'll make the dessert.
Thank you, Beth. I love you. Susie?
Could we have a printed version of the resident care office, what they do?
The question is, can we print a version of this? And yes, we can. I can print some and put them in your little alcove. And I can email it to you as well if you want one.
Is there a pool of volunteer drivers who are available to take people who do not drive anymore to appointments?
The question is there a pool of volunteer drivers who can take people to appointments that no longer drive? And the answer to that is no. We do have Kendall drivers, but not a pool of volunteer drivers.
How can they get a Kendall driver?
How can you get a Kendall driver? That is arranged through Karen Miller. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all. It has been a great journey with you all, and it won't be the last time you see my face. So I love the Kendall food. I'll be here eating.
Next we have marketing. Is this back on for me?
Where's the hand holding one? Danielle, what did you do with the hand holding?
Oh, suck it back.
Can you hear me? Good morning. That's hard to follow. I don't even have a PowerPoint. So, last year at the end of the year, a resident came to me and asked if I would share a few statistics from marketing that I thought you might find interesting. So I'm going to do that. Thank you to Felicia for helping me pull this report together. As of December 31st, the number of and this is contract residents only, the number of male residents on this campus were 82. The number of female residents on this campus was 144. The number of couples on this campus is 64. The total population of contract residents, there's 199 independent living residents. As of December 31st, there were 14 assisted living contract residents, and there were 13 board-in healthcare residents that were contract. Average age at move-in is 74, and the average age on campus is 82.2. Felicia told me the 0.2 was important to include. And then the number of new residents, marketing, and all of you welcome to campus last year, it was 19. So a pretty good year overall. We had 191 tourist try-its visits combined. So I'm super proud of my team for bringing that amount of folks to campus. And then in 2024, moving away from 2023, we've already had 2 reservations. We have a total of 10 external reservations going on right now, 2 internal moves, so a total of 12 active turnovers happening. So there's a lot of construction on campus happening right now, a lot of new residents that'll be coming in this year, and we know of 3 more units that are getting ready to become available to us. So really busy time for marketing right now. In January, we have 1 closing on the 25th, and we look forward to welcoming the Faubers. In February, we have 2. Virginia Jordan will be joining us, and the Savageos, and 2 in March. So we look forward to welcoming all those folks as we go into the spring. And I'm happy to report we have 185 people on the wait list as of today, and we have a goal of adding 30 new folks by the end of next year. So sorry. Katie and Kevin have some more things to add, but if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. Yep.
Internal moves expected. That include internal moves from Webster Wood or all the
From independent, like cottages to independent living apartments. Yep, I did not count the transitions through the continuum. Yep. Yes. So she asked me if I could send the basic list of these stats via email, and I'm happy to do that. And it's also going to be in connections. So absolutely. Anything else? Thank you. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What's the number of staff?
Oh, I don't know. HR 152. The number of staff was the question. We have 152 staff members. No.
Yeah, it's about 134.
Full-time equivalent is about 134. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Hello. First, I want to welcome Ann and Ann. We have Ann Katie here from upstate New York, and we have Ann Strange here from DC, well, Northern Virginia today. Excited to welcome them. They'll be around for a couple of days. And Katie is here designing Isabel's cottage with me this week. So we're having a lot of fun. But we also, surprisingly, with holidays and vacations and all of that, we still had 32 visitors since our last meeting. Quite a few of those people came from Lexington, bringing family members, which we always like to see. But we also saw quite a few from New York, New Hampshire, Kentucky, California, 2 from Tennessee, Alabama, Pennsylvania, and DC. So coming from all over, we'd love to see that. We are still reaching all the corners that we're supposed to be reaching, and thank you to all of you for hosting all those meals and letting us into your homes. So Kevin will talk more about that.
Good morning. Ooh. Happy New Year. Just a couple of quick notes. Since the last Residents Association meeting, we've added 5 new waitlist members, so 5 new ones in December, which brought us to a total of 33 new waitlist members in 2023 against our goal of 30. So we're happy about that. The new ones came from Lexington, 3 from Lexington, 1 from Philadelphia, 1 from McKee, Kentucky. And then since our last Residents Association meeting, we've reserved 4 independent living homes to waitlist members who will become residents moving forward. 202 Sunrise Ridge Circle, that cottage has been reserved. Apartment 12 has been reserved. Apartment 106 and 59 Sycamore Lane. So all of those have been reserved by waitlist members who, we'll name them when we can after they've been approved medically and financially. So that is all I have. Thank you.
Hi, my name. Hello. There we go. How about that? So my name is Brian. I'm the food service or culinary director. Is that better? Okay. So I've met most of you, and if I'm not met you, I apologize. Again, like I said, I'm transitioning through the Blue Book and just double checking everybody's names versus pictures, etc. But my name is Brian. I'm last name Burton. I'm the food service director. And I have to make sure I say this right. I am the successor to Judy. So I'm still keeping that. Some may call me the replacement, but I just wanted you to know. And for some of you that are seeing me for the first time, I actually started at this property in September. And that was, I was recruited for that specifically to make sure there was not a transition period. Since then, we've also had another transition. Chef Brian Torrance is no longer with the property, and we have a new chef, Chef Matt. So Chef Matthew Rondo. And so now we also have myself, relatively new. We have a new executive chef, And then some of you may remember Stephen, our registered dietitian. He has also recently returned. So that's very, very exciting that we have now, I would say, more of a complete team. And just wanted to let you know that he's back in the area. It's not a urban legend. That's true. He's back, and we're going to work on some things together. We still have the original chefs. We still have Chef Mark and Chef Jenny and the entire team. And some of you have probably met Chef Sean or had his food in the restaurant. So like I said, that just makes our bench that much stronger. So I just wanted to bring that up and just formally introduce myself. My background's a little different. I've been in food service or hospitality for 30 years, but I've been an educator in my previous life, also as a certified chef and some other things along the pathway there. But just to reintroduce that for those that may have are seeing me for the first time. Also, too, restaurant has changed as far as the service times. So we are now open Thursday and Friday every week. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. We're currently not doing Wednesdays. We're trying to build in the demand, but right now Thursday and Friday every week going forward. So we're going to have that. In the past, it was every other week, and it's kind of confusing. This week is the next week. And that was very, very challenging, not only for us, but for all of the residents. Prior to my arrival, I'd say we had the menu in our restaurant pretty consistent for quite a few months. And then when I arrived here in September, we made some changes with Chef Sean, rolled out a new menu. So also in our restaurant, we're getting ready to roll out another new menu here in February. All right. For those that have joined us, the crab cakes are staying, I promise you. Okay, we're not going to change it, flip-flop it, but we are listening. Those that have attended the restaurant, some little things, adding additional vegetables, adding some additional starches, adding some chef specials, yes, yes, and yes. So you're going to start to see that we are listening, and then we can pivot and respond to that very, very quickly. Let's see. Also, too, we have a new food committee. So Mr. Bill Craig is also the new president of that. So that has also transitioned here in the last month. That meeting meets every first Tuesday of the month, roughly around 3 o'clock every month. And that's a great item. If you want to learn more about that, you can get with myself or with Mr. Bill Craig after the event, after this meeting today. Let me see what else we have. Starting out some additional things in the next probably 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to start to see some calendar layouts. I like to do engagement activities. I like to be involved with the property, with our residents. And so our goal for 2024 is to do some other fun things. You'll see some other things on the upcoming calendars as far as, for a cookout, a barbecue, and things like that. And that's not just necessarily in the restaurant, but again, like I said, actually having equipment out on the patio, upper patio, lower patio, out front, somewhere. I'll grill, I'll barbecue in the snow. But some of these events coming up, for Memorial Day, 4th of July, and other things like that. Why? I just think this is our home, and I want to bring some more of that home cooked in, so cookouts, things like that. I know people travel out and they travel away for some of those things. They visit friends, family. There's plenty that stay here and would join us for some barbecue and a slice of watermelon, some baked goods and things like that. So that is something that's been discussed. We'll keep you updated. The dates on that and the event times and that will be to be determined. Also, too, we're also spending a lot of time with our activities. So you might see that across the board, not only for our independent residents, but I have a very soft spot too for our Borden residents and our Webster residents. And so we're spending a lot of extra time making sure as our residents transition, we're still having activities, activities, and other things like that. So we're having some great success there and some great turnout. And that's partnering with the healthcare team, with Adam's team, with some collaboration with also with activities. So some of those things are a little bit, not necessarily new, but just kind of worked in a little bit with our food service part. And then the last thing, with our dietitian, we're hoping for 2024. For those that are interested, now this is still in the infancy of it. For those that need, custom meal plans and things like that, with Stephen back among with us, tying that into your fitness goals, tying that into some of those things, that would be a future agenda item, but that's still in development for those that are looking at doing some of those custom things. But again, that's still probably a little ways out as Stephen has revisited us as far as that goes. So, okay, that's all I have. And if you have any questions, I'm in Judy's old office. So, all right, any questions? Any questions? Any food questions? You can always come see me. Open door policy. So, all right.
Thank you. Good morning. This is an advance notice for those of you who have joined us in the last year, and a reminder for those of us who have been here longer that February is the month we take a moment and pause and think about the Fellowship Fund. And this year, because there's an extra day in February, you have that much longer to think about it. And so when you finish with your file of life, think about the Fellowship Fund. There is one at every Kindle. It is for emergency times financially when someone, through no fault of their own, has run out of funds. And so the Fellowship Fund helps them so they can stay here and enjoy what they have become accustomed to here in their home. So you will be getting a letter and an opportunity to contribute. This used to be done through a board of directors group, but the Residents Council has taken it over in the last several years. So the Residents Council is just a reminder during the course of the year, not only the Fellowship Fund, there's also in the fall an opportunity to contribute to the Residents Association Fund, which provides the movies and other activities that we enjoy. And then there's the Staff Appreciation Fund. So there's 4 times in the year where money is appreciated. But February, the Love Month, is an opportunity to think about the Fellowship Fund. So the letter will be coming. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. And I'm going to talk about some of the activities. When Brian was talking about the food, our committee, the Culture and Entertainment Committee, would love to work with you on some events with food. So that's coming up. We had to cancel our trip last night to Devil's Backbone for obvious reasons. And I went out there because the phone wasn't being answered and they had closed the dining room anyway without letting us know. So when I can reach them, we'll reschedule that. Also coming up this month, Step Africa is really a good program over at the Lenfest Center, and that will be next Wednesday. And Sue Pifo, it was not on our calendar originally, would like to share with you her lovely trip that she made to Mexico during Cinco de Mayo, All Saints Day this past year. And so she's going to be doing that next Thursday. For February, we just completed filling in the calendar, and Mark Miller is going to be coming here, and he's going to be, the title is Virginia Wilderness. Really? So I'm curious as to how he will be talking about that, but he has been very involved in the forest here. And I appreciate Ted bringing that talk to us. And then we're going to have another talk in February that another resident suggested for us. Bruce Summers has asked Lauren Stull, who is the director or the manager of the forest around us, and she's going to come and talk about the Mats Creek fire that we all experienced here. So we're going to be finding out more of the details about that. We have a very busy 5-day period here in mid-February, the mock convention, the Washington and Lee mock convention, we're going to be screening here on a Saturday morning, the 10th of February. And we're going to have a party in here, so it'll be kind of convention-like, and we'll do some decorating and show it up here and see who they nominate for the out-of-office party's candidate. And I don't think there's a lot of questions there, but anyway. That same evening, we're going to have a streaming event here that was moved from Sunday, the day of Super Bowl, where we're going to have another party for here watching. And so that will be Saturday night. So Sunday afternoon at 6:30, come watch Super Bowl on the great big screen. Then Tuesday is Mardi Gras. So we're going to be having a streaming with Louis Armstrong up on the big screen. And at conversation that night, I think maybe we'll just add a few fun things because it is Mardi Gras. And Wednesday, Valentine's Day, the 14th, we have two programs. We have the Kendall Singers, and we'll have an opportunity to sing some love songs. And we'll have a sing-along that night at 7:15, so we can sing and dance. So we look forward to that. And that Friday, Julia Gadamova on the cello and Anna Bilias will come again, and they will do a pre-program concert just for us, a chance to hear live music right here on the campus. And then we have live streaming events on Sundays and so on, and game day always. We have a lot of fun on game day. The hot game right now is something called Rummy Cube, and if you ever want to learn how to play it, come down on Saturday afternoons and give your hand at it. Thank you.
Next Wednesday, January 24th, the changeover for the art gallery. If you have things in the art gallery now, please come at 1 o'clock to take your things down. And then at 1:30, please bring new things to hang. And last time we needed a few more things, so please look through your handmade things or your paintings or what have you, and come on January 24th. Thank you.
Is mine back on? Yeah. Okay. Well, we have run a little bit over, but I think they were all things we probably wanted to know about. Is there anything else that needs to be said this morning? Then I believe we are done, and we'll do it again next month.